the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now
Hey guys, so I'm doing some maintenance on my trailer. I was telling you about that inside tire I couldn't get to without taking the tire off. So I took the tire off. I did have to buy a Milwaukee impact wrench. It does a 1400 foot-pounds of torque, and that thing, just taking 8 lug nuts off, gets really hot. It actually burned my skin because it got so hot. So trying to do all the tires on the trailer might be hard to do in one day. But the impact gun, I bought the case, the charger, the spare battery. That way I have the ability to charge on the road. I did plug it into the inverter. It does work, it does charge. I did buy these valve extensions that screw onto the valve, and then this clips onto the outside rim so you can maintain it. But I had to use one of these elbows, and these elbows, as soon as you get it tight, it moves around a little bit and it leaks air. So instead of putting that on, I decided to just leave the manufacturer stock valve stems on there, and I just used the air compressor and brought the air pressure down 10 psi below the max cold psi. So the max cold psi on these tires are 125, so I brought the tires down to 115. That way, with weather, it's really chill out today. It's like 69 out, but when I was in California it was 100, so those tires were heating up really fast, and with the load they heat up even faster. So this way, bringing them down to 115, I should be good. I should be safe to run during the the summertime fluctuations in weather. I mean, 30 degrees difference is quite a bit, or 70, 80, 90, yeah, so 30 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on, and I'll check to see if the impact gun is cooled after I put these nuts back on, and then I'll use a torque wrench to make sure they're tight. But I may only be able to do one side today because this gun's getting so hot. I mean, just this was so hot to touch. I couldn't even touch it, it was so hot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together. Hopefully bringing it down 10 psi should be good. It also gives me peace of mind because I could never get to the inside tires, so I truly had no idea what they were at, and I know the outside tires were overinflated when I got them. So now at least I have peace of mind. I can run safe and comfortably knowing that my tires aren't going to explode to excessive heat. I forgot to say also, this is also a good learning experience because my impact gun, the corded one I brought with me, my inverter on my truck didn't have enough power to actually power it. So this is a great learning experience to know that I now have the proper tools and equipment to change a tire. Down there you can see my 20-ton jack from Harbor Freight. Does great. I did go ahead and set the trailer on the truck when I picked it up because I didn't want to bend or pinch or do any damage to my hydraulics. I didn't pick it up a whole bunch. I only picked it up enough just to get the tire on and off. But that's about it. I'm gonna get back to putting this together. All right, use the torque wrench. Got it to 200 foot-pounds. And made sure to go in a crisscross pattern initially to get them all snug, then repeated the same thing with the torque wrench. Then after I did the star pattern, I went all the way around just one more time just to make sure. It's a lot of work, guys. Definitely makes it easier having the right tools, because I did try taking this off with my breaker bar, when my corded impact didn't work, and I felt like I was gonna break that breaker bar. So having a cordless impact that's capable of doing this really helps. Even though this is 1,400 foot-pounds, it struggled. It took a long time, and it was a lot of work. So make sure they get the beefy, powerful one. Don't get the 400 foot-pound one. And then on these settings here, you got to go to number 4 to actually try to get a bolt off. And then I use setting 1 to torque them back down, and they torque to like, I don't know, 125 or so, because I had to turn the torque wrench a little bit. And I did use the impact to torque them down, and then I let some pressure out of the jack so the tires would make contact with the ground, and then I torqued them all the way down with the torque wrench. I tried torquing them down with the torque wrench before I put the tires down on the ground, and the tires started spinning. So just remember to do that, but make sure to get it snug first. That way your alignment's pretty good. You're not gonna have wobbly tires and all that. But yeah, it's gonna wrap it up for this. I'm gonna do the rest of them off camera because it's not super exciting. It's not a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work. So hope you enjoyed.